Okay, I'm just waiting notification, sir. All right. Okay, boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. We have an incredible guest with us coming all the way from Paris, one who's going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration. None other than our brother Kareem Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam.
Yes, sir.
Walaikum salam to everybody, to everyone. Greeting to everyone that watching and hearing the Zoom.
All praises due to Allah. Yes, sir. This means a lot to myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast, sir. My sister Miriam says assalamu alaikum, and people are showing you love already. My first question for you, sir, is when did you first hear the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
I heard the teaching, I think it was in the 90s, probably 1993.
Mm. Oh, praise due to Allah. And where did you hear the teaching?
It's a strange story. You know, it was a time when I was deeply involved in the struggle for our people, but I wasn't involved in the right way. I was involved in a way that can become dangerous for me, and especially for those that were following me at that time, because I was putting myself in danger in unnecessary ways. I was looking for confrontation with physical confrontation with the French police, because at that time I didn't appreciate the way they were treating us, the French police and the French government, and I was really looking for a frontal confrontation with them. So I don't want to go too much into detail because it's a long story, but a sister at that time saw the situation I was in, and she said that she was thinking that it was best for me to go to some other places to rest. And she offered me to come to England. I was not interested to go to England because I was too much involved in my mind in that struggle. So I didn't find that it was appropriate for me to looking for some pleasure or some distraction or whatever. So I was not interested. And that sister insists to bring me to England. And I say, I don't see, and I don't know why I should go to England. There's no reason for me to go to England. And she said, yes, you should come because, you know, the situation for Black people over there is different, and you have a nice discotheque, good music. I said, I don't care about to go. You know, I'm not going to go and cross the channel or the sea to go to England to, you know, attend some discotheque or thing like this. I'm not interested. And she insists, and a month later, she said that she called me and she said, I have 2 flying tickets, because at that time we didn't have the Eurostar, you know, the bullet train. And she said, I have 2 flying tickets for you and me. And they are available for a week. We just go for a week. I didn't understand why she insists like this, but I was intrigued, and I think I was thinking, okay, maybe a week. It's gonna go fast. You know, it's very short. It's a short time, and that's what decided me to go, because I knew that it was just a week. The week is gonna go fast. It's gonna be a short time. And I heard at that time also about some organization, Pan-Africanist organization that were supposed to be more organized than us in France. So I was thinking maybe that will be an opportunity, because I didn't want to go over there just to spend some time like this and doing nothing else, to just do some tourism things. So I said maybe I'm gonna make that trip beneficial in trying to contact that this Pan-Africanist group, and invited them to come to Paris to meet with the French Pan-Africanists that I knew, that for me at that time, I considered them as very weak, not organized, and not really efficient for the struggle. So I was thinking maybe they will, in putting the Pan-Africanists from England in contact with the French Pan-Africanists, maybe the French Pan-Africanists will be able to benefit about the experience of the struggle from the people from the brothers and sisters from England. That was my idea, not to join any Pan-Africanist group, but to bring them here and make them contact and be in contact and meet with the French Pan-Africanists. So we finally go to England, but we didn't know where to go because we didn't know anything about England, London. And we heard that the so-called black area was in Brixton, which is not really the case, but we decide to go to Brixton, and we didn't see we didn't see black people. And the few black people we met, we decided to go to talk to them and ask them about if they know about some Pan-Africanist group. They didn't know anything. They were not able to give us any information, valuable information about Pan-Africanist organization. And one day in the what they call over there the subway or the underground, we met a brother that he was giving flyers, and in these flyers I see that the flyers was talking about a meeting organized by a Pan-Africanist organization. So I was very happy, I said, wow, that's wonderful, and I was so enthusiastic that the brother was kind of surprised because he was not familiar with this kind of reaction when he was giving the flyers. So I explained him, why I was so happy, because I said that we are looking for days, to meet with people like him, So I said, I'm very happy. So he was happy too. So he gave me his phone number, and I give the flyers to the sister for she can put it in a bag, And 2 days later, I said, okay, sister, can you look at the flyer, because we check the date because we don't want to miss the meeting, And she took the flyer in a bag, and she looked at me. I said, wow. I said, what's going on? I said, we missed the meeting. It was yesterday. I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed. But I have the phone number of the brother, so I say, okay, I still have the opportunity to contact him. So I called that brother every day, morning, afternoon, evening. He never answered me. And I was very disappointed. And the week was coming to its end, and we were supposed to go back in France. And then I said to the sister, you know what? I'm going to stay in London. And she looked at me. She said, what? I said, yeah, I'm going to stay in London. She said, well, I don't understand. Why you want to stay in London? You are the one that were not willing to come, and now you are the one that want to stay. I said, yeah, because I saw something, that I didn't understand. I saw, brothers, Rastafarian brothers, with big dreadlocks driving, buses, city buses in London. And I never see that in Paris, So I realized that the situation for the brothers and sisters in the UK were different from us in Paris, but I didn't know what was the reason. I didn't think that the reason was because the Caucasian over there were less racist than the Caucasian in France. I was thinking that there is another reason, but I didn't know what was the reason. So for me, the best thing to do, it was to stay more in England to investigate the situation of our brothers and sisters in the UK and see what is the difference really between us and them. But in truth, it was Allah that was working on me. I didn't know it at that time. I didn't realize it. And then the day when the sister left me and go to Paris, go back to Paris, and me staying in London, I was working in an area in London that is very famous called Shepherd Bush, and I saw a brother dressing very smart, well dressing, with a suit and bow tie, with a newspaper. But really, I'm telling you the truth, brother. When I saw that brother, I didn't think and I didn't know that he was a FOI or a member of the Nation of Islam. I thought, in truth, in case, I thought that he was a homeless because I saw that there is a lot of homeless people at that time in the UK that were selling papers. Of course, the brother was very well dressed, you know, but I was thinking, okay, that's a black man, and I know that, you know, especially in France, even when we are in terrible condition, socially or economically, we do our best to dress well, you know. So, and I saw also that in the UK that most of the people were commonly wearing the suit.
Mm.
So I was just thinking, maybe that's a homeless selling peppers. So I look at him and I just continue my way. And after a few minutes, I say, no, I'm going to help the brother. I'm going to support him. So I decided to just give some help, some support to a homeless brother. So I go back to him and I said, I didn't say, what is your newspaper talking about? Because for me, it was just a paper from the homeless people. So I just asked him how much. And he answered, £1, sir. I said, okay. I give him the pound and I go back with the paper. And I start to look at the paper and I see Minister Farrakhan, Elijah Muhammad. I said, what is this? I heard in my early days, young days, when I was a teenager, I was a Rastafarian also. I have dreadlocks. And the brothers from that, the Rasta brothers, you know, they talked to me about Farrakhan. I didn't know too much about him. They just said that he was a black man that was giving hard time to the Caucasian in the US. So I just like him. I didn't know too much about him, but I just like him just for that, you know, just to know about that. And I heard about Elijah Muhammad through the stories of about Malcolm X, but I didn't know too much about him, and I didn't know anything too much about the Nation of Islam. I think at that time that the Nation of Islam didn't exist anymore. So, but I was very intrigued by this paper. I said, what is this? So I go back to the brother again, and I said, what is this newspaper? And the brother said, this is the Nation of Islam newspaper, the final call. I said, the Nation of Islam? I said, the Nation of Islam from the US? He said, no, the Nation of Islam from the UK. I said, I don't understand. The Nation of Islam from the US is in the UK? He said, no, this is the Nation of Islam in London. I said, I don't understand. He said, okay, I invite you to attend a meeting. So he gave me the address, his phone number, his contact, and this brother that I met, the first one was brother Leo Mohammed from West London.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the first time I decided to go to meet with to attend that meeting, I was kind of, you know, I was not very. I was kind of, you know, skeptical about what I'm gonna see and hear or experiment. But I was curious anyway, so I decided to go, and I was very impressed by the way they were welcoming the people. It was an entrance for the sisters, another entrance for the brothers, and we have to go through that check procedure that I was not familiar with. And you know, at that time I have a beer. I was wearing an earring. You know, I was a smoke. You know, riffles and whatever. So they check me and they take everything I have in my pocket and they said, okay, you're gonna get it back. You know, after the meeting, a brother came to me to welcome me and bring me to my seat. And I see the FOI all around the place. You know, on post. You know, I was very impressed. I said, wow. And then the brother at that time that was a representative, I should say that I think he was representative at the time of the Nation of Islam over there, came. He was escorting by the FOI. And when they start to speak about they start to speak about the way we are, how the media, especially how they use the movies to spread propaganda, you know. And I didn't know anything about that at that time, and I was very surprised. And I realized that, you know, they take, for example, a movie that called I don't know the name in English. Is Yes, I think it's the same name. Is the same title is Terminator. Terminator.
Mm.
With Schwarzenegger. Terminator.
No, son.
Terminator. Terminator. No.
No, son. No,
You know
son.
the movie with Schwarzenegger being a machine. He go
Oh,
in the
the
past.
Terminator. The Terminator. Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir. The
Terminator.
Terminator. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is my French accent.
Yes, sir. No, I understand. I was like, I don't know, but yes, sir. I'm
Yeah,
familiar with Terminator 1 and 2 and
yeah,
the
yeah.
saga after that. Yes, sir.
So they use as example the second part of the movie. You know,
Mm. Mm.
when in the first part of the movie, the Schwarzenegger is a machine that go in the past to try to kill Sarah Connors. You know, the
Yes,
woman
sir.
that's going to give birth to
Yes,
John
sir.
Connor, the son that will be the one that is going to take the head of uh, um, the head of the struggle against the machine, you
Yes,
know.
sir. Yes, sir.
And he go in the past and try to kill her, and he killed every Sarah Connor that he met on his way. And
That's right.
in the second part of the movie, he's supposed to go back in the past to save the son of Sarah Connors.
That's right.
And the brother start and ask us a question. He said, "What is the name of the son of Sarah Connor?"
Mm.
And people said John Connor. He said, "What is the initial of of John Connors?" And
Mm.
people answered GC. And he said, "You see?" And then I was very amazed. I said, "Wow!" But I was happy, but in the same time I was mad because I realized that, you know, at that time I liked that movie, you know. So I realized that I was I was being trapped, you know,
Mm.
without
Mm.
knowing it, you know, through a
Mm. Mm.
propaganda that they spread on my mind and I didn't know anything about it, you know. And they I'm not gonna go into detail because it's a long story, but they go very in a very interesting way to explain us how they spread all this propaganda and maintain to entertain a spirit that we're already in, you know, just to entertain that spirit, you
Yes.
know,
Yes, sir.
to make sure that we're gonna um, act, you know, and be a kind of people that will always act and think and do things that is always go into their own benefit and not in our benefit, you know, and how we're gonna continue to look at us in a way that we should not be that we shouldn't been able to see ourselves, you know.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that was a story. And then I decided after that to take some time. I didn't decide at that time to join the Nation of Islam. I was just happy to witness what I witnessed, to see what I see. And the second time, my second meeting with the Nation of Islam, it was in Brixton with another group of brothers and sisters, another group of brothers. And I become friend with one of them that he was for these two last years FOI of the year. His brother Odarte Mohammed,
Mm.
Odarte Lemti Mohammed, is um, is in West London. Is in London actually,
Mm. Mm.
with brother Minister Abdul Hakim, and we become friends. And this brother was I was attracted by him because he was very nice, very humble, very careful. So I liked the way he was, you know, being friend with me, being very nice with me. And but to tell the truth, when he was trying to talk to me about the teaching, I didn't understand anything. I didn't really pay attention about what he was saying. For me, what he was saying was very strange and in some aspect crazy, you know. So, you know, so it was not the teaching that he tried to deliver to me or to explain me that attract me at that time. It was him, you know, his
Mm.
behavior to me. He was a nice brother. I like him. I still like him, you know. And I thought at that time I was kind of, you know, skeptical and thinking I was worried about if I was in contact with a cult, you know.
Mm. Mm.
The only thing that I like about the Nation of Islam at that time, I knew that they were a group of people that was worried about and concerned about the situation of Black people. So that's one of the things that I like. But I knew from at that time that it was not a reason, even if we were concerned about the situation we was and we still are, that it was not a reason to do any crazy things, you know. So I was very careful about that. But after a while, I realized that something was wrong in the way I was seeing the Nation of Islam, because the way I was seeing them didn't really give them too much credit, thinking that they were a cult, didn't take in seriously what they said, thinking that they were maybe a Lulu people, you know. I realized that what I saw from them, what they were doing, the behavior, the action, the work, all of this didn't fit with what I was thinking about them. I see people that were very smart, intelligent, disciplined, courteous, respectable people. I didn't see any people, any men, whatever they're black or whatever, treating the women the way they were treating the women. So after a while, I said something is wrong in the way I see them, and what I see is totally different. So it was a time I started to pay more attention. So I said, okay, in some ways, in an arrogant way of thinking, I said, okay, I'm going to spend some time with them. I'm going to watch them. I'm going to spend some time. I'm going to look at them, attend the meeting. And if I see that what they do is okay, I'm going to do what I was willing to do with the Pan-Africanist people. Ask them to come to France and to start to give birth to the Nation of Islam. And at that time, I decided to stay and live in England, because I started to make friends. And I was thinking maybe I didn't want to go back to France, because for me, France, to live in France as a black man, it was, for me, not worthy, was not good. It was very humiliating. So I was thinking maybe at that time, my plan was to stay in London, create more bonds with the brothers and sisters in the UK, not necessarily in the Nation of Islam, but in the UK. And through that situation and relationship, I was thinking maybe I will be able to go to live in African-speaking, English-speaking areas like Nigeria or Ghana, or whatever. It was my plan. Or to some Caribbean English-speaking island like Jamaica or whatever. Because I was thinking that the black people from the English-speaking part of the world were more strong than the French-speaking one.
Okay, great. Yes, sir. Well, all praises to Allah. And people showing you love. Brother Kareem, all across the country. People, my sisters in the greetings, and thank everyone who continues to watch. Please let us know on YouTube what city you're watching. Brother Kareem, what was it like for you meeting the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for the first time?
Okay, so I have to finish about that story about how I became a member of the Nation of Islam, if you want.
Yes, sir. Please, please.
Okay, so after a while, I realized that the Nation of Islam, what they do was kind of okay. So I go to the brother that were the representative for the Nation of Islam and Minister Farrakhan at that time, which was the brother name was Wayne X at that time, but he became Wayne Muhammad later. And I go to him, and I was, for me, the idea I have, it was a good idea. So I go to the brother and I said, you know, brother minister, it's been a while that I am here with you and watching and looking what you do. And I think this is a good thing, you know. And I think this, what you do, you know, you should do that also in France. So if you want, I can, you know, if you agree with that, I will be happy to bring two or three brothers from the UK and bring them with me to France, to Paris, and spend time with them in Paris, maybe for 2 weeks, and show them around the situation where we are, bring them in where the areas where we live, for they can get as much as information they can, for bring back that information to you, for give you an idea to know how to start the Nation of Islam in France. And the brother looked at me and he said, I can do that, brother. I was surprised. I said, why? I said, brother, we need the Nation of Islam. We have nothing in France. totally lost. We need something like the Nation of Islam. And I think that I want to give that opportunity and give a choice to my brothers and sisters in France to see something like this, to decide if there's something they will appreciate to join or not. But at least offer them that choice. He said, brother, I can't do that because my mission is to make sure that is in England and around London. I have to give birth to the Nation of Islam, to allow the Nation of Islam to grow in London and in his different part of England. And he said, second of all, we don't speak the language like you speak the language. And we don't know, we are not familiar with the history of our brothers and sisters, our family in France, like you are familiar with. We don't know the mentality like you know the mentality. We don't know the history like you know the history. And the reason why Allah allowed you to meet with us is because this is for you to go back to France and to give birth to the Nation of Islam, because you speak the language. You know our brothers and sisters, our family over there. You are familiar with the history and mentality. This is for you to do that. And this is because this is the reason why Allah allowed you to meet with us. When he told me that, I looked at him and I said, wow. And this is the kind of situation when you think I better, shut my mouth,
Yes, sir.
So I go back in my place where I was living in London. And during all the way where I was going to that place, I was hearing that words from Brother Minister Wayne. This is the reason why Allah allowed you to meet with us. It's because this is for you to go back to France and to give birth to the Nation of Islam. And then when I was in my place, it was like a puzzle, puzzle?
Yes, sir.
I just, review the reason and the situation that bring me to come to London. And then this word from the minister came back again. This is the reason why Allah allowed you to meet with us. It's because it's for you to go back to France. And I realized at that time that I have two choices. One is to do like if I hear nothing and just, run away from that, which was not my character, my mentality, or to face what he said and accept to join the Nation of Islam, which I didn't plan, And for me to join the Nation of Islam at that time, it was something very hard to do because I have a way of life that was not, didn't prepare me to accept to join the Nation of Islam. I didn't think to become a Muslim. I have some ways, that I was familiar with. And to come back to France to give birth to the Nation of Islam, for me, that was something crazy. I knew that I will not be welcome in Paris, by our brothers and sisters trying to teach them about the Nation of Islam, because most of the brothers and sisters that have a Islam background, they are from the Orthodox Islam, of course, and I knew that they will not, be enthusiastic to hear about the teaching of the Nation of Islam. And we have some few Pan-Africanists and some people that they start at that time to being attracted and interesting about everything that were coming from the ancient Egyptian knowledge or science.
Yes, sir.
And all the Pan-Africanists also, all these people, they have a skeptical and suspicious thinking about the Nation of Islam through the story of Malcolm X. So I knew that I will not be welcomed by them too. And I knew that I'm going to have to face a bigger enemy, which was the Caucasian. I knew that they will not see the coming of the Nation of Islam in Paris with a good eyes, But anyway, I realized, because through what the Brother Minister Wayne said, this is the reason why Allah allowed you to meet with us, because this is for you. So to go back in front and to start to give birth to the Nation of Islam and deliver the teaching to our brothers and sisters. So I realized that I have two solutions: run away or accept and face. I realized that it was Allah that put me in that situation. So I accept. And that was the beginning of my coming into the Nation of Islam.
All praises due to Allah. Yes, sir. And thank everyone who's watching and showing you love all across the country on Facebook, soon to be Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube as well, of course, this evening. All right, Brother Kareem, what was it like for you meeting the Most Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for the first time, sir?
I think it was in 1996, I think.
Mm.
1996, or maybe, I don't remember exactly if it was 1996 or 1990. No, it was 1996. Yes, 1996. Yeah, the first time I met with him, it was was impressed, of course, like we all are when we met with him. And I was enthusiastic, and he invited me to I think it was a lunch, yeah, for lunch. No, breakfast. I think it was a breakfast. Yeah, breakfast. And I asked if I was, because I didn't want to go by myself. I was willing to offer the opportunity also to the brothers from the UK that were also a part of my coming to and joining to the Nation of Islam. I was willing to um, um, show them the gratitude. I didn't think uh, it was correct for me to go uh, to enjoy that pleasure, that opportunity and privilege alone. So I was willing to extend that invitation to them. So I asked the minister if he will accept to receive Brother Minister Wayne and the captain at that time, Brother Captain Barry. He said, "Yeah, okay, why not?" So we go together all together, and I was like in another world. I was at the palace, but I was like a little kid, very impressed and listening what he was saying, trying to do my best to understand. Because I have to tell you something now. You see, but maybe you see that my English is not too bad, maybe. But at that time, I didn't understand English. The first time when I saw Minister Farrakhan on the videotape, I didn't understand anything about what he was saying. I was watching him, but I knew that what he was saying was important, but I didn't understand anything. The first time I have the book Message to the Black Man, I was happy, but I was just looking the pages, but didn't understand what was writing. But I think the desire to understand, because I knew that what he was saying was important. The desire to understand what he was saying, the desire to understand the teaching, finally create that ability to catch up the words and to finally, the brain is something, that we don't understand sometimes, the power, and after a while, I was able to understand and to speak, and I was amazed when I remember in many occasions I was speaking to people and I said, "I'm sorry because my English is not good. I don't speak English." And the people looking at me and say, "Yeah, you speak English, brother. You speak well." you know? So I realized after a while that I was able to speak, even if I'm not. I don't speak English like the English speakers speak English, but I was able to speak and to understand. Yes. And I remember the first time also when I meet with the minister, I asked him if he will, because I think I have a Quran, Holy Quran, and some books, and I asked him if he can, do autograph.
Yes, sir. Yes,
for
sir.
me and other brothers, And he looked at me nicely, very gently, and being sweet. He declined, So I didn't understand why he declined, to do the autograph. So I insist. I said, "Brother Minister, can you please, And you look at me and say, "No, brother, thank you." I didn't understand why. So a brother came to me, a brother that was on post. He was on post in the palace, and he said, "Brother, the reason why Brother Minister didn't accept to do that is because he doesn't want us to see him in a way that is not the best way to see him. He doesn't want us to see him like if he's a kind of star, So that's why he didn't accept to sign your book." Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, great. And how did your family and friends feel about you accepting the teachings?
I think that in the first time they didn't understand what's happening in me. They look at me like, you know, maybe is you know, like if how can I say that? You know, like someone that starts something that is very strange, and people look at him thinking, oh, is in his is doing something crazy, but that's gonna pass. You know, he's gonna come back to normal later. You know, maybe they didn't take it seriously. They were looking at me like something strange, something new coming from me that they were not familiar with. But what they were, the only credit they gave me is that they knew me for any brothers and sisters. They knew me for even from my early days. I mean, when I said days, when I was a teenager, they always saw me involved and concerned about the situation of Black people. So for that, they were not surprised. They were more surprised about the way I was dressing, you know, joining the Nation of Islam, all of this, you know. But now through all these years, they have more. I see, because they speak to me, and I see that in their eyes that they have a deeper respect and consideration for me, and they more how is that in English? They give more attention, yes, to what I'm saying coming from the Nation of Islam. You know, they pay more attention. Yes, they pay more attention. They're more interesting. You know, I met recently some brothers, and they said to me, you know, brother, when you were coming to us at that time, we were in another state of mind, so we didn't really understand what you were talking about. Even if we knew that what you were saying was making sense, you know. But tell you the truth, at that time we we saw you as someone that, you know, was that was how is that in English? It was I was for them something like someone like they were happy to see me, but they didn't want to hear me talking about all of this situation, you know, because they were in another state of mind. But they told me today that, you know, we always have a great respect for you, but our respect for you grew years after years through the situation we face in our life. And we see that you were really giving us true information and teaching. And we always watching what you publish on your social network, and we thank you for that, because that's very important what you're doing, and what you are really important for us. You know, that's something we want you to know. And during these last few days, I have many testimony like this coming from people, and I'm kind of surprised, because I don't understand why. You know, because you don't realize when when you do what you do, and when you deliver the teaching, that you're gonna impact the people. You don't know that, because you speak and you don't see any reaction, you don't see anything, you know. So even sometimes you can think that what you do doesn't make sense, that maybe you waste your time, you know. But that's not what it is. People, you know, listen, and they Allah is gonna walk through them, you know, like he's writing in the Holy Quran, when Allah said, when he gave instruction to his prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he said, your work is not to impose the teaching, is to deliver the teaching. And said that whatever you're gonna do, if I decide that person that will not hear, there is nothing that you will do against that. Your job, your mission is to deliver the teaching, and after that is between me and that person.
All praise due to Allah. Yes, sir. Sister Jidu Basins, greetings as well. Okay. My next question for you, sir, is fear. Have you ever faced fear, and how have you overcome that fear?
That's a good question. Tell you the truth, I can't say that I experiment fear, because maybe that's come from my past. You know, my background is from the street. I grew up in the street, you know, And when you grew up like this in the street, when you are 14, 15 years old, you are not in this time, at that time, a young man, you don't understand fear. You fearless, which is not good, because you should be able to understand fear and to protect your life, but you are able to, and I think that's the reason why, during the war, they send young people like this, because they're fearless, they're crazy,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, I become familiar with living with danger. So, no, I didn't face fear, because and also my love for our people, and after that for Allah and the Nation of Islam, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, of course, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, all of this, gave me some strength and that doesn't allow me to fear anything, And the only things I will always was, how can I say that? It was not the fear, it was not the fear, it was the concern about being able to deliver the teaching and to touch our brothers and sisters. That was my concern always until today. Is not the fear, is if I am the right one to deliver the teaching, and being able to deliver the teaching in a way that will be understood and take it in consideration by our brothers and sisters, and expecting that for them take that teaching in consideration will, or of course, allow them to get out of this madness that we are in and save them.
All praises due to Allah.
My only fear was maybe to fail in my mission. In misrepresenting the Nation of Islam, and especially the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and my brothers and sisters, in the Nation of Islam. My only fear, if I have to say that I fear until today, is to be unworthy.
Powerful. Yes, sir. Excellent. We have 2 more questions for you, Brother Kareem. I just want to do a quick 60-second commercial break for all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast this month. I want to thank everyone who continues to show love all across the country on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Thank you all for every anonymous Cash App. We truly appreciate it. Please Cash App the People's Podcast. Thank you for your support. My brother Rashad, Street Premier Media Production. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. My sister Miriam, ABC I Love Me, children's book, coloring book, and now Spanish book. All 3 available on Amazon. Please go get those. My sister Naima, Stay On Point Dance Academy, LLC. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country, right here in the studio of Atlanta, Georgia. We love our tiny dancers. Rock Communications. If you're working on a book and you need copy editing, project development, or content development, please reach out to Rock Communications. Fashion Guys Urban Streetwear. He'll keep you dressed in the best of fashion. 314-329-6009. Student Minister Robert L. Muhammad, conflict mediation, squashing the beef throughout the Southwest region. Does a phenomenal job. His wife is the Fudia Muhammad, Children of the Most High, giving birth to a God in the science of child rearing. Also, Brother Kenneth, bow tie maker extraordinaire. He'll ship bow ties to you anywhere in the nation. Dr. Henry M. Carter, King Henry's Turkey Legs, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Rashad Muhammad, COVID-19 disinfecting cleaning services out of Chicago. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, AbdulSharif.com. And last but not least, my 2 books, Cleopatra, which is a children's book, and No Father, No Excuse, both of which are available on Amazon. Please go and get those books. Thank you very much. Okay, we're coming right back. 1 second. Okay, we're coming right back. All right. To our brother Kareem.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm coming right back to you, sir. I gotta get this. Oh, there we go. Boom. All right. Yes, sir. My next question for you is, I just interviewed Brother Leo from London right before I interviewed you. What was it about his speech that he gave that helped you, be intrigued by the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
Okay, it was not brother minister. It was not brother Leo that I hear
Oh,
the
okay.
first time. It was another brother called Michael when he was speaking about
Oh, okay.
the movie, you know. But
Oh,
when
about
I start
Terminator.
to,
Okay, yes, sir, yes, sir.
yeah, but when I start to become familiar and to hear the teaching, it was truly through brother Minister Wayne
Got
and
it.
this brother called brother Odarte Mohammed.
Oh, praise due to Allah. Yes, sir. Boom. My next question for you, sir, is what would you like your legacy to be, Brother Kareem?
My legacy is, you know, if I knew that through the work I did in Paris, you know, trying to deliver the teaching to our brothers and sisters, if I knew that through that work I was able to make our brothers and sisters to understand the teaching, to accept the teaching, and live that teaching, that will be able to affect their life and become another brother, and I mean a new person, you know, and another kind of people, you know, in agree with the teaching, and that will be able to save their life and being able to bring them to create things and accomplish things that will be beneficial for our people and for the all mankind. You know, that will, you know, it will be, I will be happy to live that world, knowing that I was able to do that, to participate to that.
All praise due to Allah. Yes, sir. And thank everyone who's showing love to you. Okay, hold on. We got to make sure we get one more question for you, Brother Kareem. Brother Kareem, what type of music do you like to listen to?
I grew up with music from the US, you know, I grew up with reggae music,
Okay.
And funky music, what they
Okay.
call funky music. My father was listening, you know, group like Temptation, you know, all these people, you know, Bob Marley, of course, and Gloria Gaynor.
Mm.
So the music I'm listening mostly today is rap music from the US,
Okay.
and R&B and
Okay.
soul and what they call no soul. That's what
Mm.
I'm listening most of the time. But I like also classical music, you know, what we call classical music, and jazz, of course, also. Yes.
Phenomenal. All praise due to Allah. Well, Brother Kareem, inshallah, in the future, I want to go and visit Paris and the Eiffel Tower and all of those great things. And I hope that I can see you in person, unless, you know, of course, I see you here when you come to America. So I look forward to meeting you in person, inshallah.
It will be my pleasure to receive you and to receive any of our brothers and sisters that want to come to Paris. Don't hesitate to contact me, and you know, knowing that you have a brother, then I will take my time to show you around, to show you. You know, Paris is a beautiful city. So if you have an opportunity to come and to visit the city, you know, you have to come, and I will be able to show you many things that you will never been able to see by yourself.
Mm. Okay, yes, I'm hoping to that. Yes, sir. I look forward to it. May Allah continue to bless you and your family. Please give the believers the greetings. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off with the People's Podcast. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam, sir. And I want to thank you again for giving me that honor and opportunity to share what I was able to share with our brothers and sisters. So may Allah bless you again, and may Allah bless you and your family, brother Joshua. Thank you again for all what you do for our nation.
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, sir.